All right, good morning, folks. It is July 21st, 2024, and we have a critical update where Putin is now calling for crypto. He wants the framework laid out. He wants to flip the switch. And in fact, they already have as far as starting to use the digital ruble. And we're going to get an update on that. But then we're going to talk about, of course, how XRP is ready and poised to dominate during this moment when the world needs world peace. The world needs a neutral bridge currency. And we find that there's not many other solutions. You got gold, which is the backing, but gold isn't as liquid as an XRP that we've now created and made as liquid as a G10 currency. Folks, in this update, I want to break this down for you guys. This is going to be focused on cryptocurrency. We're going to start by taking a look at the charts. But before we get there, all this financial preparation, all this talk of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history will mean nothing if we can't ride out the storm. Whether it's a cyber attack, whether it's something worse, whether it's one of the dozens of scenarios that you can imagine that would stall out our systems, halt our grid. You saw what happened on Friday, and this is not going to be the last one either. So getting prepared for whatever they send our way is one of the things that I've been talking about for a while. Just yesterday, we had an updated prepping call in my Discord group. And so I just wanted to plug that real quick. If you guys are looking to get tapped in, you can get access to the recording just by going to my website, signing up for Patreon, and then you can get your access to Discord. But I did record the session, at least the first 50 minutes or so of my section. And then I actually went for about 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours with my community. And it was just an absolute pleasure. And it was a very timely, important call. And like I said, how are you going to take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history? You can't feed your family when the lights go out for a few days. You know, when 10 days of darkness arrives and you don't got a plan. Let's get it figured out. Everything's at ZachRector.com. Let's roll. So starting out here, we're looking at Bitcoin, which was back up to 67,000 yesterday, showing some strength. And I wanted to share my market analysis with you guys here today. Very, very quickly, very briefly, and this won't take long. Right here, the vertical line. July 25th through the 27th is the Bitcoin conference in Nashville. I'm expecting us to complete this bull trap rally, this Trump bump. Remember, Trump's going to speak. He's charging the Bitcoin bros $15 million. It's some $800,000 to sit at the round table, another $60,000 to go shake his hand or something like that. I mean, he's taking the Bitcoin bros to town, which rightfully so. Good on Trump for that. But anyways, I believe that we'll get the Trump bump, bull trap rally into this Bitcoin conference, and then I expect a sell-off. So please be ready for that for XRP. Back up to 60 cents yesterday, holding right now at just below 59. Still in a position of incredible strength. Let's get into it. So this is from the Kobesi letter, talking about the U.S. debt crisis and how terrible it is. Currently, every new dollar of U.S. public debt generates just 58 cents of GDP, near the lowest on record. By comparison, in the 1960s, this metric was as high as $9.80, and in 2000, it was $4, or 7 times above the current levels. Over the last 4 years, the U.S. national debt has skyrocketed by $11.6 trillion, while the U.S. added $6.6 trillion in GDP. In other words, the U.S. economy's productivity has declined near the worst levels in modern history. What's the long-term plan here? Now, here's the chart to visualize it. And what's important to note here is that we are just not producing. And if it wasn't for this government spending and the debt that our government has added, where would our economy be? Would we already be in a recession? Can we declare this as a depression? Because we've had depressed growth, and this is some of the worst growth that we have in modern history. This is why Jim Rickards and others say that we're already in an era of depressed growth. And some could call it a depression. Have we hit the technical recession markers yet? No. Q2 GDP is going to be coming out this week, though, so we're going to be updating you on that one. Now, in regards to Bitcoin, we're also seeing that Bitcoin retail demand is at a 3-year low. Lucky for Bitcoin investors, the botted fraud manipulation demand funded by unlimited stablecoins is at sky high. And I've been talking about this over the past year or so about how we see a new stablecoin getting printed and created every single week now. I mean, every single day, really. As long as we can convince everyone not to sell the fiat and grift enough to attract a constant inflow of new cash, it can still go up. And this is a chart here by Ki Young Ju. Retail investor demand is at a 3-year low. It's measured by the 30-day change in total transfer volume for transactions under 10,000. So is everybody just hodling it? Everybody's just holding it? Or have we actually seen the demand actually fall off? I believe that we have seen the demand fall off. I believe that the institutions and the ETFs, that gave us a bump to start off this year. And that carried us for a while to the new all-time highs in March. But primarily between the ETFs and still just a massive amount of Tether and other stablecoin manipulation, it's kept this market propped up and saved us from having probably a deeper correction already. But I don't think that we're out of the clear yet. And we're going to have to continue to stay tapped in on these markets because despite them going up right now, like I said, I believe that we're doing a bull trap rally into the Bitcoin conference, and then we'll get that correction. Please watch out for that. And then when we match up what's happening in the crypto world with everything in the macro, not good. Not out of the weeds, not in the clear. And we were a quarter inch away from being Black Swan just a week ago. So we got very lucky in that regard. Now, this post here, put up by the Digital Pound Foundation, talking about President Putin calling for a comprehensive framework for digital assets in Russia, including the digital ruble, highlighting the strategic importance of creating favorable conditions to help foster economic growth and diversification. Wow, how refreshing, right? Versus what we get in our country of let's attack it, let's kill it, let's control it. Now, here's the Digital Pound Foundation, and I want to show you just a couple data points that I found very interesting. So what we see here is that President Putin was speaking at a recent meeting on economic matters, and he highlighted the importance of creating favorable conditions to foster the growth of digital assets, including the digital ruble. Now, when we scroll on down here, we can see he's talking about laying out the framework, right? This legal framework is essential to mitigate risks such as fraud, money laundering, and cyber threats. Yep, we all understand that, but this is the part right here. The president pointed out that since July 1st, more than 30,000 transactions involving the digital ruble have already been completed, demonstrating the growing acceptance and potential of digital currencies in the Russian economy. Now, I wanted to go fact check this myself, and so I did go pull up and I did look, and actually back in March, it was being reported by Ledger Insights that they were already at 25,000 transactions. So between March and now, they've added another 5,000 transactions. And so that checks out the President Putin saying that they've done 30,000 transactions so far on their digital ruble, which you compare that with an XRP ledger, which has done over 2.8 billion transactions since its inception. The digital ruble has some catching up to do. Just like every other central bank digital currency and every other government project has a lot of catching up to do, right? Ripple in the XRP ledger is so far past the proof of concept. We are live and the liquidity is only building. Now, once again, you scroll on down here and you just see that President Putin, he's fully on board, right? And I thought about calling this video Putin flips the switch, but I thought maybe that'd be a little bit too dramatic, a little bit too clickbaity. But I wasn't aware that they'd already gone live with the digital ruble testing and that they were this far along. It started last year in August, and it's only picked up from here. But just like we've been calling over here in the United States for that legal framework, rules of the road, Putin is doing the same thing, and he knows it's part of that, strategically important for them to get it right. And especially with Putin and the BRICS, they need a solution. And this is why I say that XRP is ready. This is why I did a playlist on YouTube titled BRICS Loves XRP, is because BRICS, no nation of BRICS, has came out and formally adopted XRP as their bridge currency. But there are many BRICS nations where banks and institutions within those countries have already fired up and tapped into on-demand liquidity using XRP. That's a fact. So when I say BRICS loves XRP, people think that I'm saying BRICS and Putin have come out and declared, oh, we're going to use XRP. No, that's not what happened. But they are already live with XRP on-demand liquidity with institutions and banks within these countries and central banks as well. Now, when you read through their report and the feedback, they're saying that it's very slow. That's the problems that they've had so far with their digital ruble trials, is it's very, very slow. And maybe this is why they've only done 30,000 transactions so far. They do have plans to ramp it up and actually go live with this in basically full offering within the next year, but they still have a ways to go in that regard. But what did Russia's largest bank have to say about XRP back in the day? Well, many of you guys already know about this test that they ran. This was back, I believe, in 2018. And what did they have to say? They conducted research on the Ripple network and XRP. They say, based on the research results, it was concluded that the Ripple platform can be considered as the basis for starting work on creating a system of cross-border settlements, provided that the following organizational, legal, and technical issues are resolved. And so this is where they literally say XRP, Ripple network, ready to be the basis of a new cross-border system. Fast forward to 2024, and they got a slow, not really working out so well with the digital ruble. Once again, this is why I say that XRP's ready. XRP's already been tested. XRP's already live, and the liquidity's already building. And it's going to end up being some of the best liquidity in the world, in my opinion. And so here's a key point that I want to make. Ripple will not partner with Russia. Ripple will not work with any sanctioned entity. Even though, Ripple should just leave the United States after they've been treated so poorly here. They should just leave the US and they should work with everybody, right? But Ripple's staying loyal and they're going to stay here in the United States. And so they're not working with any sanctioned entities. However, that is only Ripple. That does not stop Russia. That does not stop Iran. That does not stop anybody else from using the XRP ledger. And so we have to remember that. A lot of folks say, oh, Russia would never use American technology. Well, this is just like saying that Russia, would never use Bitcoin. This is like, we don't even know who created Bitcoin. We do know who created XRP, and it was a few Americans, right? But it's not quote unquote American tech, right? This is now validators that span the globe who confirm and run this network. And, once again, with Bitcoin, you don't have that neutral bridge currency. You have a slow, expensive payment network, right? With the XRP ledger, you solve all those problems. You have a better Bitcoin and you have that neutrality. So, when we compare what is the other solutions, there's not many out there. And then I found this very interesting right here. This is from I Am David. Huge shout out to David. He says, look who liked my post pretty much right after I posted it. And that would be our good friend, Judy Shelton. And we would love to see Judy serving in the new administration. Wouldn't that be great? But David had originally tweeted out, again, red, white, and blue and gold balloons. Is Donald Trump hitting to a gold standard? Gold standard in a cryptocurrency kind of way. And he tags Judy Shelton. And as you can see, Judy Shelton, she took the time to like that post. And so the reason why I wanted to share that is to show you guys that these people get it. These people understand. We get a new system backed by gold and other commodities. You put it on DLT technology and you insert the neutral bridge ledger. You insert the neutral bridge currency, and then we can start to move this world forward. And this is coming at a time when we're on the brink of World War III. What better solution? All wars are bankers' wars. How do we stop it and prevent it? Insert a neutral bridge XRP. Now, from the technicals, XRP is absolutely coiled up, and we're starting to see everybody and their brother, their sister, and their uncle talk about XRP flipping and getting bullish. This one from Leb Crypto. XRP printing a classic bottoming structure versus Bitcoin and flip major downtrend resistance. It has the fuel to 2x versus USD. It usually does so very quickly within 2 to 3 days. Should be an interesting week, especially if Bitcoin behaves. So this is the XRP Bitcoin chart, but he's saying that we can 2x versus the dollar. So, we're right now at, about 60 cents. That would shoot us back over a dollar rather quickly. And that's why I say XRP is in kind of a scary spot right now for a lot of the space, even for XRP holders, because we don't know what's coming next. We're scared, we're getting impatient, but it is starting to creep back up and it's starting to get us all excited. Like I said, everybody and their brothers getting bullish on XRP now, and the technicals do match up, right? So if you ask the most conservative TA person, they have to admit to you, yeah, it looks pretty dang bullish. When you talk to the fundamentalists, we're saying, hey, look at all this that we've, established, built out, proof of concept, liquidity growing, we're live, more utilities on the way, legal clarity, cases about to end, ETFs are coming, regulations are coming for stablecoin and broader cryptocurrency space. Those are all flip of the switch events. Those are all building to the fundamental thesis that adds to the technicals. This is why we sleep so peacefully at night, despite us holding XRP for some of us 5, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, even longer. And having not returned to an all-time high since 2018, we can't give up on this asset when we're so close to breaking through and having so many different catalysts that drive this thing higher. And once again, as I've said, when we get CNBC and Jim Cramer telling us it's time to buy XRP and showing us how to buy XRP, just like they did at the top in 2018 in January, that's when we will know that the top is hit. Okay. But until then, I'm going to continue stacking. I'm going to continue praying. I'm going to continue prepping. If you want to get access, it's ZachRector.com. If you can do me a favor and smash that thumbs up for me on the way out, I'd greatly appreciate that. And you guys let me know what you guys think about these developments here today. Is there any chance that Russia's going to show interest in XRP? Is that not the case? You guys let me know in the comments down below. God bless all of you. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.